Hello everyone, I'm Raven from Raven Comics, and today we will meet the sons of the Justice League. We begin on Olympus. This is New York City, and this future takes place 20 years from now. We are with a small group of teenagers. One of them mentions that they left this place for a good reason, but they won't hide anymore. Another asks if he's sure about doing this, since Mount Olympus is Sovereign's territory. Hunter tells him that practically all this land is their enemy's territory. The kids are searching for someone named Curry. Cruz uses his speed to try and find him, but he can't. It seems, for now, the kids' abilities aren't enough, as they can't find their target. Also, if the Lantern Kids use their powers, they'll be easily detected. Serenity arrives to reunite with her team. She informs them that Tempest's forces will take advantage of her absence from Atlantis to invade her kingdom. Cruz tells her that this mission is a risk. Moreover, they won't be able to return if they go through with what they have in mind. Darkness is rising again. The kids must unite their forces to stop it, no matter what happens. Suddenly, Curry appears in front of them. Cube says that seeing him is like seeing a ghost using his father's corpse. Hunter asks everyone to head toward the mountain. Meanwhile, Cruz tries to attack him, but his opponent uses a time grenade to slow her down. Then, he slams her hard against the ground. Hunter tells Curry that he used to be a hero, but now he's just a despicable person who uses Cyborg's body to survive, and that even his daughter hates him. Curry punches him hard and tells him that he and his team are meddling in things they shouldn't. Then he slams him into the ground. Jason and Jenny use their powers to stop him. Curry says that just because his daughter is there, he won't go easy on them. Serenity tells him that he stopped being her father when he stopped caring that she was his daughter and the choices she made. The team takes the opportunity to escape. Surprisingly, Curry also has a power ring. He wears the Black Lantern ring, which he uses to knock the Lantern Kids away. Before Curry can deal a heavy blow, Serenity launches a powerful attack. Hunter tells her to keep attacking him and forget that he's her father. Serenity says that after what he did to her mother, she no longer cares about him. Then, she uses her abilities to escape with her teammates and reach the mountain. Hunter knows they can't stay in this place for long. It's likely that Sovereign will arrive here and finish them off. If that happens, they'll be in serious trouble. The kids move forward through Mount Olympus. There, they find something that could help them stop this terrible future. The problem is that everything here is a mess, and what they're looking for might not be working anymore. After advancing, they reach a room with a screen. On the screen, a message from Vincent is projected, telling them that they still have a chance to end this darkness. The stones here will help them defeat this evil. Bad news for the team. Sovereign has arrived, ready to kill them all. He will show no mercy to any of them. Serenity is the first to attack, but it seems her magic attacks won't be enough to stop him. On the other hand, Cube asks his teammates to give the stones the little energy they have left. While they do that, Hunter and Serenity will keep their opponent occupied. Hunter tries to hit Sovereign, but it doesn't affect him. Moreover, his enemy tells him that he has always been useless, which is why his mother abandoned him. The rest of the team has managed to activate the stones, which in turn activate a portal. The kids escape through this portal. We return to the present. In this scene, we see that the city of Midway has been destroyed. Thousands of people have been killed. The Justice League is already investigating the situation. Cyborg deduces that the people attacked each other. Diana feels a bit sad. They're supposed to be here to prevent this kind of chaos, but they always fail, and many people die. Superman asks her to calm down. They have saved millions of lives and the entire world. That's not failing. Diana agrees, saying that when an alien threat comes, they stop it. But when it's humanity itself, they can't do anything. War always ends many lives. Flash agrees, saying that despite his speed, he's not fast enough to stop this kind of chaos. Diana knows they need to prepare. They can't keep saving the Earth from superpowered beings from other planets, yet fail to protect humanity from itself. What kind of future are they leaving their children? Superman tells her they want to leave them the best. Diana urges him to start acting now. They can't let such chaos happen again. Suddenly, a portal opens in front of them. The kids we saw earlier appear. Serenity can't believe the stones worked. Diana asks who they are. Cruz tells them they're their children from the future. The world is nearly destroyed, millions have died, and it's all the Justice League's fault. Later, we find ourselves at the Watchtower. Cruz is running, reminiscing about his childhood there. Jessica asks them not to touch anything. Cyborg asks everyone to gather, as he'll take samples to analyze their DNA. Mara doesn't believe they're their children from the future. After all, she hasn't given birth yet. Hunter tells her that she will in the future. Mara asks what they're doing here. Serenity and Hunter tell her they need their help, as in their future, they no longer exist. Jessica doesn't understand any of this. Cruz asks his mother to calm down. Yes, Cruz is Jessica's daughter, and not just her. Jason and Jenny are her children too. Flash asks if they have any proof to back this up. Jenny starts crying, as it's been a long time since she's seen her mother, and she runs to hug her. Superman says he's sure they can resolve this. If they're in some kind of trouble, they'll help them. Barry is in for a big surprise. Cruz is his and Jessica's daughter. Cruz's real name is Nora, just like her grandmother. Diana feels the kids are telling the truth, but something seems off. Diana asks Hunter if she's his mother. Hunter gets upset, saying he knew he couldn't expect anything from her. When he was born, Diana abandoned him. It seems it was because he wasn't born an Amazon girl. She just looked at him and left him. He wasn't even a minute old when it happened. Hunter tells her that if she doesn't believe him, she can use the lasso of truth on him. Diana believes everything her son says. Suddenly, something bad starts happening to Jenny. The girl begins to glow a bright yellow. Jason asks her to calm down and let go of that emotion. Flash asks what's happening. Nora explains that she has a speed, but her siblings inherited the Lantern's light. They have all the emotional spectrum. When they get upset, they can get a little out of control. Jessica tries to keep her daughter from losing control and hugs her. After reviewing the DNA tests, Cyborg confirms that they are their children. Superman says it's time to take a breather and make the proper introductions. As we've already seen, Nora, Jason, and Jenny are Barry and Jessica's children. In the New 52, they were shipped. What happened to Iris? Well, she might not have forgiven him for all his lies. Cube is Cyborg's son. His name is Marvin Stone. The boy's DNA is combined with that of a mother box. Mara is Serenity's mother, and her daughter tells her she understands that all of this might seem strange. They are their children, but in this time, they haven't been born yet. Eldoris is Serenity's real name, and as expected, Aquaman is her father. Hunter is Diana's son, but for some reason, he didn't grow up under her care and instead was raised by Superman. Jonathan was like an older brother to him. Superman always tried to make him feel important when he wasn't. Superman and Lois struggled a lot with him in his childhood. Superman asks Hunter about Jonathan. Hunter says that he never got along with him or with Damian. They were the Super Sons and never wanted him on their team. It seems something bad happened to them, as Hunter didn't want to give more details about the Super Sons. Simon asks if any of the kids is his son. Jason tells him that he ended up becoming the leader of the Yellow Lanterns after killing Sinestro. Superman asks them why they chose to come here and now. Hunter says they had nowhere else to go. Cyborg asks Cube to show what happened. Cube begins a synchronization and downloads some files. In their early years, they clung to everything, being the children of the world's greatest heroes. They grew up together as if they were part of the best club in the world. Their powers began to manifest, and their parents trained them to learn how to use them. Everything was amazing until everything changed and the world darkened. A war broke out. This was a superhuman war. People with superpowers fought against other superpowered beings. It was the most brutal war the world had ever seen. Power and fury were unleashed by a darkness like no one had ever felt before. The common people didn't stand a chance. The world never gave them one. The kids were hidden on Olympus to be protected. The Justice League promised them they would only stay there for a while until the war ended, but that never happened. Years passed, and the children had grown up. They never knew what happened to their parents, but they remember that when they were left behind, their parents were very afraid. Eventually, the kids found a way out. When they returned to the world, it was no longer as they knew it. They tried to save it, doing what they could. Obviously, they failed. If their parents couldn't do anything, neither could they. The worst part was that none of their parents were there to help them. Serenity reclaimed her throne in Atlantis, which was the only free nation left in the world. The kids tried to bring light and hope back to the world. When everything seemed to be going well, Sovereign appeared and took Olympus from them, crashing it down onto Earth. From that day, he spread his reign mercilessly against the few who were left alive. The future world could easily be compared to Apocalypse. Their only salvation was to return to this time. They succeeded thanks to the Stones of Eternity, and with Vincent's help, they are now here. The explanation ends, and Mara knows that's a lot of information to process. Superman tells them that they will have time to talk more about the future, but for now, they need to rest. The kids look exhausted. Nora tells her parents that they are very hungry. Flash understands exactly what she means. Jessica says they'll take them home so they can eat. Flash will go with them. After all, Jessica doesn't want to be a single mother. Superman asks Hunter if there's anything else he needs to tell him. He says no, but he seems indifferent toward Diana. Serenity asks about Aquaman, and Mara tells her that for now, he's missing. Superman says they need to step out for a moment to make some arrangements. He also needs to call Lois. The parents discuss among themselves. They need to protect and guide their children. This is not their time, and they need to keep an eye on them while they sort out this situation. Meanwhile, the kids are also talking. Hunter tells them that they can't reveal the true reason for their presence. Superman arrives and tells them everything is ready. It's time to go home. Everyone leaves, but Simon goes to talk to Diana. However, she asks him to leave her alone. Right now, she doesn't want to talk to anyone. Meanwhile, in the Batcave, Batman is investigating what happened with the Midway disaster. A while ago, Cyborg sent him some clues, and he's now deciphering them. Batman asks the computer to take some data from the watchtower, but the transmission cuts off. Someone is blocking them. Suddenly, an unknown figure asks Batman if he would like to play along with Aquaman. Batman turns around and is attacked with smoke bombs. The unknown figure lands a powerful kick, slamming Batman into the computer. Then he takes a blow to the face, and the amount of blood we see is incredible. Batman receives more punches to the face. After taking a punch, he gets kicked again. The person responsible for this is Curry, who tells Batman it's been a long time, but he needs to take a few things from the Batcave. Meanwhile, at the Superman farm, John asks Hunter if he will be his older brother in the future. Hunter says yes, that he was just as big as Superman. For John, this is amazing. His father hasn't told him anything about time travel, but John knows he's done it. The League has traveled through time hundreds of times. Without a doubt, John has to tell Damian about all this. Hunter tells him that Damian made fun of him all the time, and he hasn't seen him in many years. Before commenting on what happened to Damian, Hunter remains silent. Clark asks him if he'd like to take a bath and wear some clean clothes. Lois asks John to show Hunter around their home. Hunter doesn't think it's necessary. For John, it's no problem. He'll also show him his room. John assumes Hunter already knows it, but he still wants to hear how amazing he will be in 10 years. Once the kids leave, Superman thanks Lois for letting Hunter stay at their house. Hunter has nowhere to go, and Clark couldn't leave him alone. He's one of those things life brings to their doorstep. Lois knows Superman very well and realizes something about these kids is bothering him. Clark wonders if maybe what happened in Midway City affected them, which is why they appeared there. Besides, what exactly happened in that city? Why did the kids arrive here and now? Superman and the others knew that the Kindred was doing something, but they never bothered to find out what happened or why. They just dealt with the immediate threat and moved on to the next problem. Maybe now it's too late to deal with that. Lois tells him that things like that have never stopped him before. He's Superman, and it's never too late to handle things. Perhaps Superman should ask himself again why the kids are here and now. Maybe they didn't arrive at the wrong time, but are exactly where they need to be. We then shift to the ocean with Mara and Serenity. Aquaman's daughter asks about her father, and Mara tells her the situation is a bit complicated. Mara asks if there's something between her and Hunter. Serenity says it's complicated. Mara asks what the problem is, but her daughter doesn't want to answer. She promised herself she wouldn't do this. Serenity just wants to be with her mother. Mara looks younger than she remembers. Additionally, Serenity has a concern. What if they're currently changing the future and making things worse? Technically, she isn't Mara's daughter yet and might never be. Serenity starts crying. Mara tells her not to worry. Today, she is her daughter. In Metropolis, Cyborg and his father are examining his son Cube's technology, which is far superior to Cyborg's. This goes beyond nanotechnology. While they recognize it as a form of mother box technology, there's something different about it. It's as if part of Cube's DNA is human and part something else. In the end, it's still technology. This could be seen as a huge evolutionary leap. Without a doubt, this could be a major technological advancement. Mr. Stone has a brief conversation with his grandson. Cube tells him they didn't get to know each other because he died before Cube was born. In fact, he's going to die in 3 years. He should consider a healthier diet and more exercise. Cyborg senses his son is expanding. Cube is entering the global networks, saying he's reviewing all the information and data from every conversation and message. It feels incredible to him, like being alive again. In the years after the war, there were no signals or information. He felt blind and deaf. He is a technological marvel in an era of darkness. After Cyborg died, he left a copy of his systems. It wasn't the same as when they were connected, but at least Cube could talk to his father, which was more than what others had. Mr. Stone asks if the two of them can connect. Cube says yes. Then he asks Cyborg if he would like to do that, and without a doubt, Cyborg would love to. Now, we're in Central City at Barry Allen's house. Nora asks her father how many times he can run to New York and back. Flash admits that his daughter is a bit faster than him. Jessica asks them to keep it down. The twins are asleep. Nora apologizes to her mother and gives her a hug. Nora peeks into the room and sees her brothers sleeping. They're glowing blue. She's never seen them glow like that before. Jessica explains that blue signifies hope. The boys had never felt this emotion before, and now that they have, they glow blue. Barry asks his daughter if she isn't tired. She says she never gets tired. Nora lies down on the couch and falls asleep. Jessica asks Barry if he truly believes this could be their future. Barry says it could be. He's traveled through time so much that he knows a small change can lead to an infinite number of different futures. They need their help, and that's enough for him. Jessica trusts and agrees with his words. Meanwhile, in Midway City, Green Lantern Simon Baz has created a dome to cover the entire city. Additionally, he's using the power of his ring to collect all the lifeless bodies. Simon mentions that some sort of contagion has affected the inhabitants, something like a virus. Therefore, he will indefinitely quarantine the city. Steve read the reports on the way. He knows Simon and the League were there and may have been infected as well. Simon says that's a good question. Steve will have to make sure Simon is clean before letting him go. Simon and Steve continue their investigation. Whatever this virus is, it has the ability to move from one place to another. However, it might also be a form of energy. Simon searches and finds no unusual organic particles. As they continue, they discover black marks. This is something neither of them has seen before. Simon scans their bodies and finds none of this energy in them. But the entire city is contaminated. Steve asks what comes next after finding this energy. Simon tells him that once Argus has removed all the bodies, he will permanently block access to the city. This will remain in place until he can find a solution. Steve agrees, but asks to be kept informed. Suddenly, they hear words being spoken. For now, they can't see the being that's speaking. Simon turns to see what's happening, but finds no one. We return to Superman, who tells Hunter that the clothes fit him well. Still, they will get him new clothes tomorrow. Hunter tells him that this used to be his room. He finds it hard to keep track of time here. He knows this isn't his time. When he lived here, this was his small world. There was no safer place for him than this. Clark asks him to tell him what happened. Hunter says he can remember everything. The sheets, the toys, the smell, everything is still here. He remembers the stories Superman used to read him every night. Lois would hug him whenever he cried. In the dark times, when he embraced fear, he thought of the past and tried to hold on to memories like these. Sometimes it worked. Superman can't pretend to know how Hunter felt, but he's sorry for what happened to him. Hunter tells him not to worry. After all, he gave him a home, a family, and love. That's more than he ever received from his mother. Clark finds it hard to believe that Diana abandoned him. He's her son, and she would never do that. Hunter tells him he doesn't have to imagine it. It happened, and he lived it. Clark knows Diana is proud and stubborn, but despite her anger, she is compassionate to everyone. Hunter says it doesn't seem that way because he never received that compassion. Clark tells him he's welcome to stay as long as he wants. This could be his room again if he wants it. Clark says goodbye as he goes to help Lois. Hunter thanks him and calls him Dad. Superman turns back and asks what will happen to John when darkness infects this world. Hunter says they were hidden for their safety. He doesn't know what happened during that time. Superman asks again what happened to John. Hunter admits that by then he was a little older. Superboy fought and died alongside Superman, as did Lois. Superman says they will recover from this and find a way to stop the darkness. Hunter says that when they fought, they couldn't do anything, and that was with the whole League fighting together. Hunter asks why they didn't stop the Kindred. Why did they let it sing? Superman says they did stop it and saved almost everyone. They did the best they could. They stopped the Purge and the Extinction Machines. Later, they also stopped the Kindred. Hunter says they let it sing, and that song condemned the world. They should have destroyed the Kindred. Superman says they didn't because it had thousands of people trapped inside it. If they had killed it, many innocent lives would have been lost. Hunter replies that sometimes the only choices they have are between bad and worse. They should have killed it. That was the only option. Superman says that if Hunter grew up in this home, then he knows Superman would never make a decision like that. If he found himself in the same situation, he would make the same choice again. Hunter knows that's true. Superman always believed he could save everyone without risking their lives. Hunter saw it and lived it. The few who are still alive are a testament to what that conviction really gave the world. Superman tells him that if he came to this place hoping to save his future, he can still do it. Hunter says it feels good to be back here again, but this is just an illusion. Superman and the others have been dead for years. It's just that in this time, it hasn't happened yet. Meanwhile, in the Watchtower, Diana is reflecting. Wonder Woman recalls some words she heard before. She doesn't fully understand herself and doesn't know her place in all this. Diana knows she has a role to play, but today is not the day. Soon, she will know who she truly is. Diana asks Jeannie to help her review some video files. Wonder Woman wants to see what happened after the event with the Kindred. She's certain that Cyborg kept some of it stored, and Jeannie shows her the videos. These were also reviewed by Batman. Diana watches and finds what they told her. She will play a very important role in what's coming. Soon, she will know who she is. Over the course of her life, she has learned that much of what she thought was true was actually a lie. Furthermore, she can now feel the truth of things without using her lasso. Diana reviews the videos of what happened with the Kindred. Jeannie asks where she's going with all this. Diana says she's just seeking the truth. Now, she realizes everything is connected and reviews Midway City. She was there and felt what the people felt while they attacked each other. The people felt fear and hatred. Diana feels as if the creature of fear was there, but this is even worse. This fear is much stronger. Just as they were investigating what happened in the city, the portal opened and her children arrived. Diana could feel, for a moment, the pain of the future. It's as if there is a great wound, and it comes from that future. She felt immense pain, fear, and hatred. It's as if she could kill anyone and everything she touched. Diana has tested the truth of these kids since they arrived. She has been pushed toward these thoughts. The more she searches, the less trace of falsehood she finds in the kids. What if this darkness that's coming causes a conflict that leads to millions of deaths? What if this war is with Wonder Woman, and she is responsible for all of it? Back at Superman's house, Clark mentions that Hunter is having problems. Lois asks him to give Hunter time. The boy has suffered a lot, and this will be a huge change for him. Hunter will need a lot of help from both Lois and Superman. We're with Hunter. All this time, Cube had been listening to Diana's words, and Cube has told Hunter everything he heard. He asks Hunter what Diana might have meant by those final words. Hunter says it means there's a chance to save their future, and for that, they have to kill Wonder Woman. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more content like this. I'm TJ Prime, and see you in the next video.